Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming the mid-year book freakout tag and I'm really excited because I don't think I've ever done a bookish tag before and just gives me an excuse to talk about all my favorite books again. I wasn't tagged by anyone. And I also won't be tagging anyone because I'm afraid of rejection. Also, all of my bookish friends have already done the tag, so that's that. Without further ado, let's just get right on into it. This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be really tough. I have the questions here on my phone. I'm gonna pull my Goodreads folder that says 2019 reads, so I know everything I've read in 2019. And I can kind of like glance over my reviews, kinda, I don't know. So the first question is the best book you read in 2019, and this is going to kill me. This is literally going to kill me. Okay, let me scroll through really fast. Okay, for this one, I think I'm gonna have to go with Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This book is incredible. I finished Six of Crows and I thought to myself, there's no way that Crooked Kingdom could be even better than Six of Crows because Six of Crows had no faults, 5 out of 5 stars, incredible, best characters ever, like it was so incredible. I was like, there's no way that the sequel could be as good. Like something's gonna disappoint me, I know it. I was so wrong. Like I finished this book, it made me cry multiple times. It was even better than the first. I don't know how. It just was. Here's the thing, everybody knows about Six of Crows, so I don't really need to get on into a summary. And I can't tell you anything about Crooked Kingdom because then it would give away Six of Crows if you haven't read Six of Crows. Just know that it is incredible, and I think, like, this was really hard, but I think this is the best book of 2016. Kendra, we are 3 years ahead of that. 2019, the best book I read in 2019. So I'm just not gonna put this away because then question number 2 is what is the best sequel you read in 2019, and it's gotta be Crooked Kingdom. Literally, just as I just said, it was even better than the first. I don't know how it did it. It was incredible. I am like such a stan of this series and of these characters, and I just really wish Leigh Bardugo would come out with the next book because she said there's gonna be another one and I need it, okay? I need more Kaz Brekker in my life. I need more Nej in my life, okay? Okay. The next question is new releases you haven't read yet but want to. And I feel like I might own a few. I'm gonna think about this for a really quick second because I feel like I might own a few, but I know that they're all gonna be on my freaking Goodreads. One of them was Red, White, and Royal Blue, but I have started this. I'm literally probably 40% of the way through. Loving it, like a lot. I think it's freaking hilarious. But yeah, this came out in May, so this is quite new. Another new release I'm really intrigued by and really excited to get into is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I believe this is like a month old tops. Another book that is a new release that I'm really excited for is We Hunt the Flame. This is my copy of the book. This is by Hafsa Faizal. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. This is the Owl Crate exclusive edition. It looks literally just the same except for this is in gold writing normally. I did get this in my last month's Owl Crate, like in May's Owl Crate. I'm really excited for this. I'm hoping to get around to this soon because I've heard some really great things. Another book that I'm really excited for, which I don't have a copy of, is Aurora Rising by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, I think. It's a collab book. Yes, it is. I'm really excited for that. I've heard really great things about that as well. Also, Crown of Feathers by Nikki Paupreddo, I think is how you say her name. This isn't getting a ton of hype, but if you look on Goodreads, it has some really great reviews. So I'm really excited to read this, plus this cover is gorgeous. So far, I can't really think of something that's already come out that I'm excited for. And I don't know if this question means like new releases in the year of 2019 or new releases that have already come out. So maybe I'm a failure. That's a good possibility. No? Okay, good. Okay, the next question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Definitely gonna have to go with Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, but a very close second would be Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I am so excited for Queen of Nothing. If you guys didn't know, The Cruel Prince is one of my favorite books of all time. I loved The Cruel Prince so much. I still love it. I'm really excited to do a reread before Queen of Nothing comes out. And I loved The Wicked King, the second book, just as much. I thought it was so freaking good. But I had to give the best sequel to Crooked Kingdom because in all honesty, Crooked Kingdom was an incredible sequel and probably I loved it a little more than The Wicked King. And then Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. It is like a new adult book, so it's not technically young adult, but it just because I loved Six of Crows duology so freaking much, I definitely feel that I'm gonna love Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. So those are definitely my most anticipated reads that haven't come out Yeah. Okay, biggest disappointment. That's definitely going to have to be the Shadow and Bone trilogy, which I know is super controversial because I have some friends here on BookTube that love the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I just did not vibe with it whatsoever, which is so funny because it's Leigh Bardugo, and then the second freaking series she writes is now one of my favorite like books slash series of all time. So I don't know how that works in my brain. Her writing did improve a lot, but also the story is literally just 10 times better than Shadow and Bone. I just don't vibe with Shadow and Bone. I don't vibe with our main character whatsoever. I think she's boring AF. I liked the Darkling a lot, but I just like the way people hype up the Darkling. I thought we were gonna get so much more of his backstory and of his life, and we didn't. Like, I just feel really kind of like robbed in that sense. And then Mal is so terribly boring. I literally, there's like a hair in my face somewhere. There's a hair in my face in every video I film, really. He's so boring. I don't understand. The best character out of the entire series was definitely Nikolai, which makes me really excited to read Nikolai's book. I'm maybe gonna do it this month. I didn't set up a TBR this month because I was out of the country and I just wanted to like mood read this month. So that was definitely my biggest disappointment, was the entire series for sure. Just not my thing. Didn't love it. Yeah, no. So the next question is biggest surprise. And I thought about giving it to the Night Circus, but it just doesn't really qualify because I already knew I was gonna love the Night Circus. Does that make sense? So I had to give it to Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This is the sequel to Caraval. This is the second book in the trilogy. Here's the thing. Everyone I ever talk to who has read the entire series always talks about how like the series kind of goes downhill after the first book. And I can understand why they say that, because the magic in the first book doesn't compare. Like it's way more magical than the second and the third. However, I loved the second book, and I personally thought it was incredibly magical. It was just very different than the first. The first book is told in Scarlett's perspective. The second book is told in Tella's perspective. I love Tella. I vibe with Tella way more. I have nothing against Scarlett. I just love Tella. Like, she's just like my gal, you know what I mean? The love interest in this story just like tugged at my heart from like the very second it started. I was just like so into it, and I read this in less than 2 days. I latched onto this, and it was definitely a surprise because I had expected to just not enjoy it as much, even though from the like literally page 10 I was just sucked in. Which is so funny because everyone's the opposite of me, but that's okay. I loved it so freaking much. This is definitely the biggest surprise. It definitely is one of my favorite books of the year. One of my favorite books of all time for sure, because I just loved it so much. Oh my gosh, the ending, ugh, so good, so freaking good. The next question is new favorite author, and honestly I don't know what to, like I want to say Leigh Bardugo, because of the Six of Crows duology, and I almost want to say Stephanie Garber because of the Caraval series, but I think I'd probably go with Leigh Bardugo. It's really hard to say. I'm not the kind of person that is like latched onto certain authors and gets really excited. I mean, if it's part of a series, I get excited because I'm loving the series, right? But I'm not like, oh, so-and-so put out a new book, I have to have it. I'm gonna read the book if it sounds interesting to me. I'm not gonna read the book if it's written by that author, probably. I don't know. Hard to say, but I think I would definitely say Leigh Bardugo because of how much I like latched onto and like was obsessed with, and still am obsessed with, the Six of Crows duology. She created the most beautiful characters, like inside and out, with the most insane backstories, all so different, and like each of her characters are so different, and I can really, really appreciate that. So I think I want to say Leigh Bardugo, but it's really funny saying that, seeing how disappointed I was in the Shadow and Bone series. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if I can say Leigh Bardugo, but if Leigh Bardugo keeps writing the way she wrote Six of Crows duology, then sure. Okay, newest fictional crush. This is really hard because I crush hard on book characters, and it literally, I like can't even decide between, it's so hard. Okay, if I really think about it, I don't know. Okay, wait. This year, I feel like I didn't read a lot of books with like great crushes for me until recently. Like the first half of the year, I was like, yeah, I love everyone, I'm crushing on them, but am I in love with them? You know what I mean? But I definitely think it's so hard. Oh my gosh. I definitely think I'm gonna have to go with Kaz Brekker or Dante from the Caraval series, which is funny because that's all I've been talking about. in this video are those two series, but literally like they're so different actually. They're very, very different characters. They're both definitely more introverted. One's more magical. Kasbrecher is just like a mastermind and he's so messed up, but he's also so incredible and I love him so much. And it's just really hard for me to decide because I'm in love with both of those characters, okay? I don't know what else to tell you. Let me know if you feel the same down below in the comments because Dante from Caraval and Kasbrecher from Six of Crows, I literally would sell my soul for it. That's that. So the next question is newest favorite character, and I literally hate to keep talking about the same books, but here we are talking about both Six of Crows and Caraval again. And I think I'm gonna have to decide between Inej Gaffa and Tella from Caraval. Inej is from Six of Crows, obviously. I think a little bit more Inej, like everything she is, I was in love with. I think she's incredible. I think she's one of the strongest female characters because she shows her emotion and she's not afraid of her emotion, but she's also not afraid to be this like, I don't know, just really strong, independent, hardworking girl, and I love her so much. Tella's very kind of similar in that regard. I mean, they have very different personalities, but she's like not afraid of her emotions. She goes full force into the situation that like into whatever she believes is true, she goes full force into it. She shows her emotions, she lets it all out, and she fights for what she loves, but she's also just really, really strong and badass. So like, it's kind of hard to decide between those two, but I want to say maybe a little bit more Inej, but Tella's right there. Book that made me cry. Well, do we have the time to talk about all the books? Because that's how this year went. There were quite a few books that made me cry. Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom both made me cry. Couple of the Throne of Glass books made me cry. Like, I'm pretty sure I cried a lot in Kingdom of Ash. I cried in Empire of Storms for sure. Monster Calls I cried for sure. Literally, I'm just like, I used to never cry in books and now I'm crying more. I don't know why. Is it the old age? I don't know. I think I cried a little bit in The Night Circus at the very end because it has like a very gorgeous but sad but beautiful but twist of an ending, and I think I cried a little bit during that, and we don't need to get into any more of this, okay? I think we all know that I'm an emotional gal. Book that made you happy. So I'm not gonna talk about Six of Crows because even though they're my favorite books of all time, the duology, they also made me really sad because like they're really, really, really sad characters. I mean, when I think about it, I get happy, but I'm trying to think of a book that made me happy in the moment. Also, I can't say any of the Throne of Glass books because literally they're all just terribly sad. I mean, like at the end of Throne of Glass, it pulls together beautifully, but it's also just like really sad. I would have to say like Red, White, and Royal Blue I'm not finished yet with, but this is making me so happy. I'm laughing. I'm like smiling while reading this, literally. And I also want to say one book because this book makes me very happy. And that is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I just didn't know what to expect with this book except for I had heard some people say some great things about it. And this made me so happy. Like, yeah, there are some sad moments in this book for sure. And there are some hard moments, some trying moments, but the overall theme of this book and the main character make me so happy. Harper's such a strong character, especially like her brain, like she's just such a smart girl. Like I never once disagreed with her decisions throughout the book, and I think that is a insane quality for a book to have because literally almost all the time you're so pissed off at the main character. Even if you love them, you're like, are you serious? You just did that right now. Like, are you serious? But Harper, I agreed with every thought she had, every feeling she had, every decision she made. It was also realistic and relatable, and she was so badass, and she was just, I just loved Harper so much. And I also loved like the supporting cast, like our other main characters. I loved Ren, I loved Gray, I just loved everyone, and I'm really excited for the sequel of this book. I think it comes out early next year. So the next question is the most beautiful book you've bought this year or received, and I don't know because I'm really picky with book covers. I mean, like I still buy the book, but I'm not like in love with the cover. So let me think for a second. Okay, so I'm tied between two books here. I want to say this Six of Crows collector's edition book because first of all, I think it's stunning. Also, it means a lot to me, and also it has red sprayed edges, and the end papers are like red maps rather than just plain maps, and also it has the most like beautiful, gorgeous character art in here that I love. And listen, I just love this book so much. And then I also want to say like this Crown of Feathers book by Nikki Pau Preto, which is funny because I still haven't read this, but it is so gorgeous. It's minimalistic, but still very fantasy-esque, which I can appreciate because I hate when there's just like a throw up of color or design on a book. Like I'm definitely more like into like the keep it like, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just keep it like simple, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be super simple and boring, but just more simple. And I love the oranges and reds on this. I think they're gorgeous. Also, quick shout out to King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo, which I haven't read. It's gold and black, which like are my favorite colors ever. I don't know why I didn't include this. I'm gonna include it. Gold, also that, you know, you've seen it before, it's gorgeous. And that's without the dust jacket. It's this gorgeous underneath the dust jacket. So I was like, forget the dust jacket. This is what we're gonna display, because how gorgeous is this? The next question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And I do have a pretty extensive TBR. I don't know if I'm gonna get around to all of these. Some of them are really important to get around to in my mind, like I really wanna read these. And others, you know. The first series is Strange the Dreamer. I really want to get around to that series before the end of the year. I've just heard so many things about it and I definitely want to get around to that. Also, God's Grave by J. Kristoff. I've read Nevernight, haven't read God's Grave, and then the third and final book of that trilogy comes out, I believe, in September. I could be wrong, I'm not sure. The Daughter of Smoke and Bones series, which is also by Laini Taylor, who also writes Strange the Dreamer. I really want to get around to that series. I've heard it's just a really good fantasy series and I'm into that. I really want to do a reread of a series I've read before, which is kind of out of the way, you can't see it, but it's called Storm Siren, and I read that like a couple years ago. And obviously I'm doing reread of the entire Cruel Prince series leading up to the release of the last one so that I can be fresh into that. I want to read Circe really badly. I've heard a lot of good things. Some of my friends really like Circe, and The Unhoneymooners, because I'm really excited to read that. So guys, we've talked a lot. This is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you've read any of these books, you should comment down below. Let me know. I'll always comment back. Let me know if you have any feelings towards these books, or if you share any opinions, or whatever's going on in your head. With all that being said, I'm gonna let you guys go though. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great morning, noon, evening, day, night, whenever happens to be that you're watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.